Meow. 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 Mittens. So cutesies. Okay, the light's good. Meow. Who's a cute kitten that lives in the under the sea? Mitten, cute face. Who's porous and yellow and who's furry and black and cute as a dime? Mitten. Mitten. Fluffy pants. Mitten. Mitten, Mitty. Mitten the kitten. Mitten, kitten. Mitten the kitten. Mitten the kitten. Mitten, 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 kitty. Mitty, mitty, kitty, mitty, mitty, kitty, mitty. Mitty, kitty, kitty, mitty, mitty, kitty. Mitty, kitty, mitty, kitty. Mitty, kitty. Kitty the kitty. Why is there so many of that? Mwah, mwah. Kitty, 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 kitty. Wow! Killer! Soletto. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thanks to Farmer Spence for my sub gift. Mitten! Aww. Yes, thank you, Farmer Spence, and most definitely, thank you, Killer. And Mitten, you gotta do your subscriber dance. Come on, you're here for subscriber dance. Mitten dance, Mitten dance. Woo 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 woo. Let's go. Okay, Mitten thoroughly enjoyed that so much. Right, Mitten? Yeah, you did. I can see it in your face. Oh, one thing I realized is I did not focus the camera up here. So, I almost fell. But we didn't, so that's good. There we go. Mitten. We're safe. We made it down. We're back alive. Who is that? Min's face looking. But I can guess. I can make a gander.
Tiger. Tiger.
Can you all make a gander? It's
Can Tiger take
Peter!
a rare occurrence?
Can Tiger make a rare occurrence? Yeah. Only if he comes on his own.
Tiger, you can do it. You're gonna get more pets.
Mitten, I should have combed you before you came here. Because you are furry.
Mitten is kind of like the hunchback.
She does not have a hunchback.
Look.
You're seeing the little bump in the back?
Look. Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Mitten, do you hear what he's calling you? What are you going to do about that? Exactly, yes. Stare at him. You got that right, Mitten.
Okay.
That's what you can do.
She's got the cuteness of Notre Dame.
Whoops, wrong camera.
The cute cat. Cutie cat. Cutie cat.
You're the cutie of Notre Dame?
Yes.
Mitten, do you like that name? What do you say about being the cutie of Notre Dame? Are you going to eat the food? Because it's not food. It's Legos.
Just listen to her purrs. Like get a whole club. We got kitty purrs.
I think you can kind of hear the kitty purrs. Kitty purrs? It's like a juniper. Okay. A kitty purr, juniper.
Okay, be quiet. Do you hear that?
Can anyone hear that? Is that hearing a bowl? No one's saying anything.
No, they're saying they love Mitten. That's
Yes.
what they're saying.
But you're not saying anything. Okay, fine. That's it, Minecraft.
Mitten. I think so, yeah, you should be.
Thank you. Bye, Mitten.
Mitten, don't type in chat. Don't say anything too crazy. You want to send in a Mitten emote? Here, I'm going to teach you how to do that. So Mitten, you click this button, and then you click this button. Okay, Mitten? And then you click chat. Mitten, you sent it! You sent a Mitten emote. Mitten emoji, basically. You're such a lovely kitty. So cute. Such a darling. There, you all should tell me if it's too bright on my face, because I feel like it might be. This light. Maybe a little bit too much light on the face, but I don't know. We'll see. Man, you got hair all in my mouth. It's like the daily occurrence. I just can't eat your hair just like you do. But it goes in and out the focus. I could set it. Just the problem is I don't have anything to set it to. It's a slight bit bright. Yeah, let's turn it down. I think what happened is I was taking photos yesterday. No, taking video yesterday. And I had to move this light. And so, because I moved the light around, took it upstairs, did some filming. I think the settings got adjusted just a little. So that's down a little and that should feel better. The brightness goes in and out? Okay. Well, it should be good now. Hopefully. As long as I don't go moving around like crazy. Anyone want a top-down view of Mitten? Look at her cutiness. Just as long as it doesn't blind you, you should be fine. I'm... Thank you for watching out for me. It's not blinding me. Well, as long as I'm not looking directly at it. So it's extra incentive to look into the camera rather than the light. So we're good. All good things. All good things. I'm sure there's going to be some of your hair just embedded in these Legos once it's done. You just love it so much. It's so fun having you here, Mitten. So fun. Let's just make sure. Did anyone else? Okay. I didn't miss anything, so it should be good. This is, as I said another time, this is almost so zen-like, where it almost makes you sleepy building these Legos, putting it together. So if I fall asleep at the helm of putting this together, you know why. It's because it just put me in that state of connection so that I can be an expert ninja. That is basically the goal. So we are building Harry Potter art to become a ninja. Yeah, it should be good. Because who's the best ninja? Me. Because whenever you think of yourself as something, then you'll become that something. So if I just imagine myself as the greatest ninja, so I am. So if I tell everyone that I am the greatest ninja, I will be the greatest ninja. That is how life works. It's true though. There's trueness to this, where if you set your mind to something, it does happen. So set your mind on good things. Things that you actually want. And say you are this. Say what you are, what you want to be, and you shall be it. Inspiration from Mitten today. That's her inspirational quote. You know, Mitten, you should tell us an inspirational quote every day. You just like wake me up telling me it. My battery's already running low. Oh, I forgot to charge it, so I should go grab my charger. And I have a cord. Yeah, we just gotta go grab the charger. So, Mitten, you take good care of everyone. So, I'll be back. Mitten, you didn't leave. Good job. Congratulations, you completed streaming status of not abandoning live streams. So, good job. Congratulations. I will give you, I would give you cookies, but you can't eat cookies. What can you have, Mitten? What would you really like? The funny thing about Mitten. Okay, well, Mitten and Tiger both really love cat. So they both love their cat food. They just have dry nibs, cat food. Mission accomplished, Mitten. Good job. And they love them. And then they also really love tuna. But, like that gourmet cat food stuff, which is supposed to be like the tuna and everything, for some reason they don't like that. They like human tuna, not like human. The stuff that we'd get for ourselves, like that's sold, marketed for people to eat. That tuna or salmon, they like that type of fish. And they also, Mitten at least, really loves yogurt. It's kind of interesting. She doesn't like milk or anything, or any other milk product or ice cream. Maybe she liked melted ice cream, but I don't know. My laptop's like going so crazy. But she likes yogurt. I don't think she totally likes flavored yogurt. But I do think she likes plain yogurt. No, she likes flavored. But mainly plain. And like, after I will have a bowl of yogurt, she'll just come up to me saying, "Hey, can I finish licking off your bowl and spoon?" And so every once in a while, I give her a treat. And let her lick the bowl. Not too often. But beyond that, you don't get too many other treats. She's pretty satisfied. So maybe I'll give you a bowl of yogurt. So a thought I've been having, or had a while ago, I don't know, some point, I thought about streaming, doing some story writing. So, because there's a story that I've kind of was brewing. It just kind of started. I was wanting to write a book or write a story. Just because I feel like every person at some point wants to write a story somewhat. So, or, because there's something about, every person likes telling stories. So writing it down is just a form of telling a story. So I've been writing a story, but I haven't worked on it for a while because I've been just so busy doing so many other things. But then I was thinking, sometimes then I thought, if I was streaming writing my story, I feel like that would give me extra incentive to keep writing it. I'd be able to get ideas, kind of show it off as it goes. It's fun to see stuff behind the scenes, get something as it's being made. So, sweet, you think it sounds cool? That's good. So I thought, so we could do that. But then I also thought, maybe I could at least be brainstorming and kind of write and build Legos at the same time. That was just another thought. Because I have just this project right now where we're just placing studs, like all of these. And so it doesn't take too much brain power, but it takes some. So I can talk like I am right now, like no problem. And see, so what I was thinking is just kind of brainstorm. The story wouldn't sound the best. It would have a lot of brainstorming parts in it if I were just writing now. It wouldn't sound like it wouldn't sound like you're listening to an audio book where it's all completed, but just getting like the rough idea and outline. So I was thinking that could be fun. So maybe I should try it, see how well I at least enjoy telling it. Because it'd be kind of fun to be a storyteller. But the problem is I wouldn't have, there's just a lot of things to keep track of. That's where the problem comes. Is I gotta be thinking of so much. But it's kind of fun to challenge the brain. So now it's just like, shall we begin? Shall I start? Just another thing that could be a little crazy is if you maybe have to catch people up all the time. I don't know. Like if someone joins, they're like, what is happening? What is he talking about? Like, why is he talking about this weird, some guy who I don't even know their name? And why is he saying they're being chased by goblins or whatever? It'd be like, I don't know. Relatable? Yes. Yes, exactly. So, guess I might as well try to tell my story. So maybe just sit back, listen, enjoy my story telling. But as the problem, where I'm just the problem is like it's in the stages of like a before a rough draft. Like where a rough draft's not written. But instead of talking about it, let's talk it. So, the book or story, I don't know. Yeah, we'll just call it book story. All interchangeable words. It's like almost, where do I begin? But I think we'll begin with the world, the environment. So, the book currently, maybe I'll just always have the disclaimer, is always subject to change, but is called Creed. So it's The Land of Creed. That's the book title. series, Land of Creed. So it has a little bit, it has inspiration from a lot of fantasy storybooks. So it's a fantasy. So the Land of Creed takes place in a fantasy world. So there's dragons, orcs, goblins, and I just realized, am I doing this right? Okay, we're good. Fairies, all them sort of characters. And the way the world Creed works. Ah, yes, that's your kind of stuff. My kind of stuff too. That's why I got to write about it. Is the way this world, the Land Creed, or at least the planets in this universe work, is that every planet has 5, was it 5? I think, yeah, 5 ages. So, and then at the end of the 5th age, the planet, it kind of just, everything freezes, like in a moment, like once the age ends, everything freezes, and then it turns into a star. So it doesn't hurt the people who are living at that time, but it just, the world stops and becomes a star in the universe. Something along those lines. So that's at the end of the 5th age. And at the beginning of the new age, or the 1st age, there's just like, it's the age of the animals, where the animals rule the world. And then it kind of goes into the age of, for Creed, it all plays out. So it's the age of the animals, then age of, I think it was the age of animals, dwarves, elves, then wizards, then men. So it's in those 5 ages, and this book takes place at the end of the 5th age. And so it goes into some events where I need to figure out exactly who the character is that does this. But like, there's a character who realizes that the world is coming to an end. It's about to freeze and become a star. And he's like, this is my home. And like, he studied the other stars out there and knows all about the way the universe is working. Not all about, just the general thing. He can see things are falling apart. So, that's where it takes thought. I messed up a little. Have you decided they more like Tolkien's wizard or D&D wizard? So, in this world, it's evil wizards. Like, basically the way wizards work in this is it's not a race, but it's like a title where anyone can become a wizard. So, but it's bad. It's like all dark magic. So, it's like the elves fall, and like, but the dwarves and some elves want to rise it back up, and men want to kind of come together, so they start forming like a wizards, and they take over the world, and the world's kind of in that not so good state where just it's being ruled by darkness. But then that finally ends, and the wizards are defeated by men, which leads it into the Age of Men. So the thing that's maybe different or about these worlds is that there's not a specific set time for how long an age can be, but it's whoever happens to rise to the top, and then it sets in motion that it is that age. So because the men are the ones that defeat the wizards, that's what sets it into the 5th age, being the Age of Men. So within that age of men, I'm thinking a fairy. So a fairy is the one who, realizing that the world is coming to an end, and he seeks out and finds some magical stuff and figures out a way that he can preserve the world, kind of put it in a freeze, but not a freeze, where makes the age, even if the age ends, the world won't end. So he does this through creating a cup. It's so a cup with like something along the lines of like elixir of life, but it's not something you could drink or any person could drink. Okay, I think you should try this. Wait, which? Try what? I am intrigued. And so this fairy creates the cup called the Cup of Life, and it has a sanctuary. But in order to create it, he had it was him and his friend who was an elf. And his friend in the process became something called, streaming the storytelling thing. So do you like me telling the story while I'm building, or should I just put it all down, be writing, drafting, drawing, just be telling the whole story? Because some of the stuff that I've said I haven't exactly written down, but it's good. So thank you. I'm glad you're liking it. It's fun because the thing that I'm mainly doing, whatever fits you. Alrighty, I like that. I think that's kind of nice right now is it's at least reviving my mind because I haven't thought about it for like a couple months. I was writing, I got the full rough drafted out, like just bullet points of what events happen. So that's all drafted, whatever happens, but it's kind of figuring out how to tell what I'm telling now in a good cohesive way on written paper. That's what I need to figure out. So just the more I talk about it, I feel like the more I'll be able to know exactly what to write. So we'll probably do a mixture of both, ultimately. And so this is where it gets to. Got it. This is where like the thinking hard stuff comes in. Where man, don't eat that. Don't eat the Legos. Nope. You're not gonna show anyone that you're eating Legos. Okay. So back to the story. And I'll get to. I have names for characters, so I don't have too many names for the way for the setup yet. But back to the fairy had to make the cup of life for the world, the land, the world of Creed. So he makes the cup, but in order to do so, he had to in some way infuse there to be a guardian of the cup. So, and then that line of whoever... Mitten was eating it. Mitten was eating the Legos. Hey, hut. Armios. Mitten, don't eat the Legos. She's just trying to gobble them up. Silly kitty. So, essentially, the fairy's friend becomes the guardian of the cup. And as the guardian of the cup, you receive certain what are called guardian powers. And I maybe will think of a fancier name or not. We'll see. Never heard that pronunciation of my name before. As I tell everyone, I'm just really bad at pronouncing names. So, okay. Everyone's just to find a new interesting way to get it wrong. So, I hope I get the first part right. The hut. Maybe okay. I think I'm good on that. So, it's so it's like armor. Armors, like E-S, Armius, I think. I don't know. I just get it all wrong. Hey, and welcome, Eddie. See, I just need to call you Hut. And then I think I got the whole thing right. I make armor. So, armories. So, is it like armories, like an armory? I just realized I don't know how to spell armory. Okay. That's why. For some reason, I've never had to... the way I learn to spell is whenever I have to write it. And I've just, for some reason, never had to write armories. Which is weird, because I'm making a book which armories would totally be in. That was what I was talking about, is making, I was talking about a book I'm writing. So, weird. Okay. But that's so cool that you make armor, like with metal and stuff. It's also spelled the British way. Okay. That would also be probably a second reason. But which is interesting, because I feel like anytime I would have read armories somewhere, it would have possibly been in a British way. What am Uramus? I don't know. Hit metal at random with a hammer and somehow becomes pretty thing. That's cool. That is cool. Do you stream it? Because if so, it's legit. I mean, it's legit either way if you stream it or not. Not saying that's what makes it cool. And hello, Fubiwala. Yep, leatherwork and makeup and paintings. Oh, that's so cool. I've wanted to get into prop making, like make a garage of just props. Because I like doing filming, thus named Filmer Tim. So, I wanted to make props for films. But I haven't done too much. I've done a little bit of prop making, but not too much. But that would be cool to have just a whole shop for building things. My current shop is building Legos. And see, this is the point where I feel like I'm going to have to catch everyone up on the story, because we got some more people here. So what I was doing before is I've been writing a story. I don't know how I started. I just, once upon a time, wanted to write a story, because there's something within all of us that wants to write. So I started writing. And I was thinking a while ago, hey, I could stream writing. But then I was like, that could also be boring. Also could be good. But so I decided what I would do is just start talking and telling the story of while I'm streaming, like right now. But now is the time where you could be lost. Essentially, we're in the land of Creed, the world called Creed. There's many ages. So yeah, this is good though, because I'm gonna get good at summarizing what the book is. So the Creed has 5 ages, or just worlds in this universe have 5 ages. The world of Creed is about to end. Its age is about to end. But then there's a fairy who creates. Opening words are usually hardest. Yeah, they are. They are. Sorry, I'm just going to read chat real quick. Start with it one of the best days. It was the worst. Wait, start with it was the best of days. It was the worst of days. It was the worst of the best days. That's a good opener. I like it. So I may use it. We'll see. If it appears, you'll know. Hopefully give credit to you. Oh. We'll see. So in the land of Creed, there's a fairy who sees that the world's about to end, and he goes and creates a cup. It's called the Cup of Life, and when it's created, a sanctuary is formed, but also the sanctuary of the cup. But because there's a cup, there has to be a guardian, and the guardian of the cup is this fairy's friend, who's an elf. And this man becomes the guardian, and part of being the guardian is you're supposed to guard the cup, make sure no one destroys it, because basically if the cup gets destroyed, then the world gets destroyed. But usually a world would end and freeze and just kind of be a happiness turned into a star. But if the cup gets destroyed and the world ends that way, then it kind of just becomes doomed, and it's more of like a doomsday ends, just world blows up, not happy. Why do them want to destroy the cup? So yeah, why would anyone want to destroy the cup? So that's a good point. So some people think because the cup gives basically life and power to the world, they're like, well, if I can... So this gets into kind of the thought process of some of the villains that you'll meet later in the story. Is they're thinking, if I take control of the cup, then I would be able to be powerful because I basically have the power of the world. So, because evil guys like to look for power. So essentially that is the premise of the evil guy looking for power. And are the chickens the villains? No. They could be. It's possible the villains could turn into a chicken and try to deceive you with their cuteness. I'm sure that's a power that they could have. So, No, Bill would tell them no. I like that. That is true. Then, See, this is where he comes to the thought. Where is I at? So many interruptions, but they're good interruptions. So, don't worry. Don't feel like you can't chat. Yes, Bill is quite the character. So, the guardian of the cup. He becomes the guardian, and he has to... I'm trying to decide if he has to live at the sanctuary or not. But essentially, he has to guard the sanctuary for sure. But his lineage also will have to guard the sanctuary. So for a few generations, he guards the sanctuary. Then it comes down to a guy named Krem. So Krem, he becomes the guardian of the sanctuary because he's a descendant. I have it written down, but I forgot the name of whoever became the first guardian of the cup. So he's the guardian, but he meets... No, that's what it was. Sorry, he's not an elf. He's a man. He's human man. The race of men. So, Krem is a man. And then he somehow meets... Is his name Tim of Tea? Could be. Could be. Very well could be, but probably not. So. Okay, and here's another interruption. We just finished another piece of our whole puzzle. So this goes right there. Wow, that's pretty nice. See it coming together. So let's just click these in. Take 3 of them. And we can start on the next one. Tea sounds good. There you go. Actually, I just realized this, we're not going to click in quite yet because the way to click them all in is you basically build your row and then click in the next row, then build your row, click in the next one. So we won't click it in quite yet, but well, I guess we can click it in to show it off. That's a good idea. Ta-da! That's coming together pretty well. Pretty well. That looks sweet. I love it. Next one coming along. This thing is, I feel like I've been working fairly fast, even while telling the story. So that's pretty nifty. I like that. I've also been getting used to what colors are here and around. Alrighty, we can get back to the world, the realm of Creme. Not realm of Creme, the realm of Creed. And we were talking about Creme, who is the guardian of the cup of life. And Creme meets an elven lady, and they end up getting married and living in a place in this. There's a prestigious city called Skywing, and it's kind of more mainly where fairies live, but all races live there. So they're living in Skywing, which is a pretty wealthy area, but it's pretty close to the sanctuary of the cup. So he's able to live there and still be the guardian of the cup. But the sanctuary is also kind of a more hidden place, not too well known, so it's not like every person knows like the cup of life is here and we must all worship it. It's not that sort of thing. Is there really going to be enough twos? Wow. But it's more hidden, that only some people know that that's actually what's giving the world life. So then this takes a lot of thought process. Brain power, max capacity. This is insane. So Creme is living there in Skywing. And within Skywing, they just living good life. Nothing too crazy happening. But then one night, because of the guardian powers that Creme has, he's able to sense like when people are near the sanctuary. So in the middle of the night, he gets the guardian feeling. You know, there's the spidey sense, but it's the guardian sense. So he gets that. Spoiler alert! I know. Whew. Yeah, there's gonna be so many spoiler alerts but also kind of not, because it's the figuring out the story. Creme goes to the sanctuary, but he just leaves. So it's in the middle of the night. He gets I was about to call it the spidey sense, but basically the spidey sense. The guardian sense happens in the middle of the night. So then he goes and just is like, I'm not gonna wake my wife, which, okay, her name is Emerald, and she's gonna be a big character in the story. So Emerald, he doesn't want to wake Emerald up, and Creme goes to the sanctuary, and he has like pretty speedy powers. Those guardian powers are pretty helpful. So he goes to the sanctuary, and there happens to be someone at the sanctuary trying to attack it and attack it to try to take the cup of life. And this guy happens to be the pirate overlord. Oh, I messed up. No, cancel. He's the pirate overlord named Sir Snail. Still kind of debating on that name, but that's what just came to my mind one day. It may have even been an autofill on my phone when I was making a draft or notes, but it works. So he and Sir Snail have a mighty duel, and he ends up Creme fights off the pirate lord Sir Snail. And Sir Snail runs away in cowardness and to never to return. But then Creme's like, okay, sweet, we're good, we're all safe. He looks and he's like, okay, it's all good. And then he tries to leave the sanctuary, but there's like a magical force, a force field that keeps him there, where he tries to walk through the door, the entrance to leave the sanctuary, but it's just like he physically can't leave. The sanctuary is physically binding him there because it's basically the place itself is saying, Creme, don't leave because people are after the cup, so you must guard it. And he's pretty distraught because he didn't even say goodbye to his wife, because the sanctuary is supposed to be kept a secret as much as it can. He never even told his wife Emerald that he was the guardian of the sanctuary or anything about that. That is like, so he's like, oh no, I didn't know that this could happen, that I could be stuck here. He just thought he should take care of the things when he needs to and almost live that secret superhero life, but his wife doesn't even know. But now he's trapped, stuck in the sanctuary. And he just gathering thoughts. This part where it said it's not going to be quite like an... oops. Mitten got scared. Ran away and knocked the camera down. But it's all good. So, for you to destroy the cup. Oh, there you go. That's an idea. So, I never actually thought of that. But he's bound to protect the cup, and so he doesn't destroy it. He's like, he becomes that guy, the knight in Indiana Jones. In Indiana Jones, he becomes the knight from the second or the third movie, where he's just stuck in there guarding the Holy Grail. So it's kind of like that. See, there's where there's some inspiration that came from, that I got from it, from other stories, because stories always come. Stories get inspired by other stories. It's just the way it is. So he's stuck there, and then the next morning, so it kind of just leaves him there. Leaves Creme stuck in the sanctuary. So now we get to follow the story of what happens to Emerald. Emerald wakes up the next morning, like, excited to just say good morning to Creme and go on her good merry day and just live life. And she has a little, but then she finds Creme is not even there, so she starts panicking, and she's like, okay, Creme maybe he's just going out, looking for breakfast, like going hunting for breakfast. She's like, this isn't normally. Do they have children? So they don't have children, but Emerald is expecting a child. So she's pregnant, waiting. She's like about to have a child, but doesn't have one yet. That is a key part. I forgot about that. Good question. So, and that's another reason that Creme is pretty distraught. He's like, I'm not even going to get to see my child? Oh, no. Yep, babies. So, does the child get pulled to the cup when born? He does, but eventually. So, there's spoiler alert, he does. Or I just gave another spoiler alert. The child's going to be a boy. Whew. Spoiling too many things, but that's good. I just keep asking questions because this is understanding the story. And so, but Emerald's is like, okay, just kind of goes on her day for a while, just thinking, okay, Creme's must be gone. But after a while, she realizes that he's like completely gone. And Mitten, he's playing with chords. Does Emerald know how to cook? She does. So what ends up happening is... Bam. Yeah, that's Mitten playing with the chords. Is she's not able to pay for her house, so she's like, okay, I'm gonna try baking. And so she just can't pay for her house because she's living in the prestigious place, and Creme was providing the money and everything. Like, she worked, but not enough to pay to live in Skywing, because Skywing's the most expensive place in like all of Creed that you can live. So she ends up getting kicked out of her house because she can't pay for it, and she then makes a long journey to her father's house, which is in Eithrail, and that's like an elven area. So basically only elves live there, because she is an elf. I don't know if I said that. But she goes to her father's house and makes the journey and gets to... Oh, Mitten, hello. Hi. She gets to Eithrail, and in Eithrail she starts a little like baking shop, just like a little market place. So, and she sells bread to help pay for her living in her new home, Eithrail. And Eithrail's kind of more of a smaller town, so it's not prestigious. Just if any of you have played Skyrim, it's kind of like the small towns like Riverwood and those smaller quaint stuff. I can now go for some crusty bread with butter. Ooh, that sounds good. Yummy, yummy. I should go get some, but not right now. We are building and storytelling. This has been kind of fun doing some storytelling. I like it. And let's see, did I get all the outline? Just gonna basically. So she has her shop. I hope you'll be able to catch your stream often. Oh, thanks. So that you can keep hearing the story. Well, I sure hope so too. It's good to have you here. So I'm trying to stream like every other day at least. So that's the plan. But Tuesdays are Tuesday evening, my time. I have Europe and time can be a problem. It can be. Like, what time is it there now? Because maybe sometimes I typically will start streaming 6 p.m. here, so that's it. I'd start streaming an hour from now, which I don't know what time would that be for you? Because that could be late. But woo! It's almost 1 p.m. and we're entering summer time. Feels bad. Okay, so it wouldn't be in the middle of the night, so that's the good thing. So, yeah, you should be able to catch it, because like just time-wise, where you wouldn't be like in the middle of the night, just that way. Like, of course there's other things that can have to happen, but let's continue with the story of Creed. So Emerald ends up having a baby, and it's a baby boy, as I spoiled already. She names him Jade. So Jade, he starts growing up, and as he grows up, he ends up meeting a girl named Anna. And him and Anna, like, they meet when they're really young, like, I don't know, 5 or something. And they just grow up together, becoming they're like best friends. So, but then around and they have like a bunch of adventures together. And so I have to like kind of figure out the different adventures that happen. But then it kind of starts following Jade and Anna as they go about, like they go into the forest and they find a dog who they name Nape. This one like doesn't even work for pulling stuff off. Found a dog. Let it go. Let it go. So yeah, they find a stray dog, but it ends up being a really nice dog, and they both take care of it. But it kind of becomes almost more of Nape's dog because don't hold it back anymore. Yes, cold never bothered me anyway. Yes, I should probably just throw in another character named Elsa, and then we'll be set. Anna's best friend is Elsa. So we're good. Now, Anna's best friend is Jade. So, oops. And they like go exploring caves, build like tree houses, but then around when they're I think I was saying like 17. When they're about 17 years old, the village of Ethrail, oh yeah, it's a village. It's called Ethrail, village of Ethrail, is raided by, there's still little clans of wizards, so they're raided by some evil wizards, just kind of seeking for destruction. And within this raid, Jade's mom Emerald ends up getting captured and taken as prisoner, and Jade tries going after them, but they're able to escape. And you get to see a glimpse of Jade's guardian powers coming through. And so Jade's pretty sad and like, oh no, what am I gonna do? And he wants to, his new life journey is to figure out and try to save his mom. So he's working to do that. But then within the next little bit, because the village was raided, Anna's family decides to move. So because there's a raid, they're like, we're not gonna stay in this village because there is a raid. So they end up moving, and Anna has to go with her parents because even though 17's old, it's not old enough apparently. So maybe just so it makes more sense, I have to make them younger. I don't know. Maybe the ages will get changed up. I should pull up the notebook that I've been writing, because this one part that I'm talking about, I do want to write in. Let's see. You all get to see some of the official writings of this. Like, it's not just all coming from my mind. Okay, whoops. Oh, whoopsies. We gotta plug it in. I mean, it is all coming from my mind, just not all coming from my mind at this exact moment of time. That's what I was saying. Okay. So, just the one part that I didn't think of is in the timing. So right here, you see some of the writings I have. Oh, look, see, Ethrail village is raided and Emerald is kidnapped. And see, I had it set a few months after his mom was kidnapped. Okay, it's probably like, I'm just going to say a month. But, oops. So the month after, but the thing I wanted to do is then also... Oh, I had it that Anna's family moves because they can't make it. But I'm going to say Anna's family moves because there was a raid in the village. So, like, that makes more sense rather than they just, like, oh, we don't have enough money. Okay, and I also had it already written out that I was, we could do this, there we go, that Anna was going to help her parents out with selling the new place and then come back. I voice typed all this just as things were coming to my mind, so that's why it doesn't look the prettiest. Raid. Yes, dead bugs. Right. So, yeah. Okay, there's the story. I'm just going to change the order of events that the kidnapping happens, and then there's the moving. See, this is nice telling the story because that was something I was able to draft up, or because I was telling it, I realized a slight flaw in my current writing. So that was nice. That's good. There. So then, like, because Jade's new life mission is to just go out and try to save his mom, he and Nape are out exploring the forest, and they end up coming upon a wizard camp. I forgot. It was called, yeah, like a wizard base. A wizard not headquarters, because it's just like a wizard encampment. Let's see, now you have your commercial like stuck in your head. Oops. Just a second, I need some water. I've been talking a while. So the raid happens, Jade's out exploring the forest. And then Jade and Nape are out exploring the forest, and they stumble upon a wizard fortress. And Jade's like, yep, wizards are the ones that took my mom, so this could be it. So he devises a plan, and he does like a little sneak attack into the fortress. And I actually have written out how this all goes down, but we'll save that for another time to read it. It's probably one of the most polished sections of the book. Is just him going into the fortress. And once he's in the fortress, he realizes that his mom was there because he finds a necklace that... he finds a necklace that was made by Crem. That Crem gave his mother. So he knew it was his mom's because it was like almost what he knew of his father. He's like, this is the thing. This is like the memory of Crem that I have. The memory of my dad. So he grabs the necklace and he realizes that there's some pull within the necklace. Like it's kind of it's almost like acting like a compass where you can imagine however you want, but it's just pulling him to something. And he's like, I think this is pulling me to my mother. It's showing me the way to go. Like, so he assumes that could be it. Maybe that happens later. I don't remember. But we'll just go with it. He realizes that's happening, so he escapes the camp and gets back to his home where he talks to his grandpa, and he's like, Grandpa, I think I have a way to save my mom, and so I'm going to head out. So he grabs some supplies, and him and Nape head out, because his grandpa's really old, and so can't really join him on the adventure. we don't have that many of color nut. Here we go. Grandpa on mom's side? Yeah. So, that is correct. So is mom's dad. So, he ends up going on the adventure, leaves out, and starts walking, following the guy to the necklace. So, the necklace ends up actually leading him. And so the necklace, something that plays a part within it, but when recapping a story, it maybe doesn't really. But the necklace has a gem within it. And it's a guardian gem. So whenever a guardian power is used, so there's guardian gems which guardians can manipulate and use, basically as a tool. But then also the guardians can... This part I'm not for sure if it's going to happen or not. But a guardian... No, I think I took it out. Yeah, I took that part out. The part that I took out was that every time like a super guardian power, I don't know what it's called, but just when a super guardian power is used, a gem falls from the sky. But then that's no longer in there. So y'all get to hear something that was in the story that is no longer. Wait. Okay. So lucky you. So the necklace ends up leading him to the sanctuary. And when he enters the sanctuary, he's like, okay, this is an interesting place. And Creme is still there. And so after Jade enters the sanctuary and Creme asks Jade, he's like, who are you? And then Creme says, I am Jade, son of Creme. And then Creme just lights up and he's like, no way. You're Jade. Because son of Creme, he's like, Creme, that's me, and I can see myself and your mother within you. So I can see like within your eyes, because he has... Creme sounds like crud. Creme. Yeah, he has a little bit. Never thought about it like that, but any name. And I know Jade typically is a girl's name, but I think it can be a guy's name too. So I think it's one of those names that can be anything. So I think it fits. It fits his name. But for people that only know people in real life that are named Jade, that are girls, it's gonna be like, okay, this could take a little getting used to. So, well, nowadays anything goes through, but this was taking place in the medieval fantasy times, so you never know what's going on. Well, Star Trek Discovery has a female character called Michael. So, exactly, when you're writing a book, that's when really anything goes. Is you can just make anything in the world happen. And we finished another plate. Well, that's actually kind of cool. Look at that. It's supposed to be the H for Hogwarts. Ta-da! Better quality. And so this snaps together like so. And this will end up snapping on right here. And there is the crest coming together. Woo! That's pretty solid. Pretty solid. I love it a lot. Let's see if it will work on this again. That's sweet. time for the next page. Phoebe heard that clap. Nah, you're good. So, I don't know where to put these guys. Probably just in here. Because I think these are the colors that it's saying we don't need. You wish you had M&Ms? Well, someone has M&Ms. They're called me, but I only can have them if they've been redeemed, so. I'm currently in the same boat as you, not having the M&Ms. Ooh, the peanut M&Ms. Those are the best. Those are the best. So good. Almond ones are also top of the notch. My comments were made for Tim's creation. Thank you. Thank you. Sounds good, Chappy. I know sometimes when I'm typing stuff in chat, it makes it look like I'm responding to something else. I'm like, stupid, that's not what I meant to do. But it's okay, don't worry. It's all good. So, the Jade meets Krim, his father. He's like so excited because he finally got to meet his father, his dad. And then with, just trying to make sure I got this right. Okay, it's hard doing this black. Maybe I should do Krim's father starts teaching him like the way he basically, what he says is he's like, so gives him all the layout of what's happened, so that how Krim is the guardian of the cup. And so because this sanctuary won't let him leave, like he physically cannot leave, that's why he's been gone. He's like, I didn't mean to like not be there for you growing up or anything. It's just this place, we're kind of in some ways cursed and blessed at the same time. Cursed that we have to be the guardians, but also blessed with guardian powers, and that's their destiny. So he starts teaching him telling him all that, and then teaching him about the guardian powers and what they can be used. And one of the things is with the gem, the guardian gems, which there just happens to be guardian gems within the sanctuary, and it's kind of just one of the things with that guardians can use. So they can form shape. They can transfigure. They can transfigure the gems into different things that they want. So like Jade can use his necklace, his mother's necklace, as like turn it into a sword and fight. So kind of make it come out of nowhere. Or use different things and transform it. So that's just one of the things he learns. But then he also learns that he is the next guardian, because it's basically Jade's destiny is to become the next guardian of the cup. So is he stuck in there too? Yeah. So you think he's like, okay, well, Jade asked that exact question. So am I gonna be stuck because you're stuck and you're the guardian and you just said I'm a guardian? But then Krim says, I believe you will not be, like, because I'm still the guardian as long as I live. So as long as Krim lives, he is the guardian. So Jade's kind of the up-and-coming guardian, but he's not the full-blown guardian of the cup. So he still can leave the sanctuary. So, and then him die and Jade. Yeah, so if Jade or Creme just died on the spot, Jade would be stuck, most likely. But he's not. So Creme is all about, he's totally on the lines and on board to the idea of saving Emerald, saving his mom. Not Jade. Jade, saving Jade's mom. So after some training and all that, Creme says, okay, Jade, you're gonna head out and follow the necklace. So, and he basically, Creme resets the necklace to not be seeking for the sanctuary, but to be seeking for Emerald. So can Jade transfigure one of the gems into an emerald? That's a funny question. Funny thought. That's what I mean. I suppose he could, but it's not currently written that it ever happens. But won't lay it out. Say it could not. You never know. So Jade says goodbye to his father and heads out on a journey following the necklace. And so he starts just trekking along and takes a few days, just taking time following it. He's able to follow a path pretty well, the common road, but then after days and weeks of travel, he comes upon some little, kind of like a evil, what did I call it? I'm trying to remember what I called it. Because it's a bunch of bad guys who are walking, what is it called? Walking down it's like a caravan, there we go. A small caravan of bad guys. They're not exactly wizards, just bad guys. Because there's kind of some few evil forces in the world. There's two main ones. There's the wizards and the pirates. Those are the two just not so good. And they're both taken. It's kind of like if someone's cast out or wants to seek kind of the evil of the world, they have two paths they take. They either become a wizard and taking the magical route, or become a pirate taking more like physical thieving and stealing and that type of stuff. So there's those two things. How do I know what colors go on what tiles? So on here on my computer, I have this whole chart that tells me which tiles to put. So as you can see, like this kind of starts matching. Whoa, the light. There we go. Starts matching up with that. So that's how it's going. That's how it works. Exactly. It's like paint by numbers, but with Legos. Right on. What do the wizards think destroying the cup will give them? So it's not exactly they want to destroy the cup. It's more they just want to take the cup and they want to be the guardian of the cup. They want the cup to be theirs. Because they're like, if I own control of the sanctuary, have the cup, then I will have power. Because the guardian of the cup is one of the most powerful people in the world. Oh, and then I also... So, the world... never in danger. Yeah. Exactly. The guardians of the cup are like the superheroes of the world. So I just remembered this is something else that helps set up the story a lot. And this is established in the very beginning of the story, when it's talking about like all the ages and everything. So each planet, so Creed has a god. There's one god per world. And the god of this world is named Garruk. And Garruk was good, and he's the only character. He's only, yeah, he's not a person because he's a god, but he's in a person form, so just like kind of looks like man. And forget it. Make sure I'm doing this right. But so Garruk is, yeah, the god of the world. But then as soon as the cup was made, because the cup is prolonging the world's existence, because all of this is taking place in a time frame that the world is technically supposed to be non-existent. It's supposed to have frozen up and become a star. So because of that, it kind of does something to Garruk and makes him, instead of being like the most good force and good thing in the world, and the thing that keeps things, not the thing, being the guy that keeps the world in order. Is it going on with Mormon type philosophy? Not exactly. It's just that he's the guy, he's like the caretaker of the world in a way. So like there's a tie to just all Christianity where like God takes care of the world. But the part where I'm saying because the world's supposed to end, the God, instead of being a good God, he becomes a bad God. That's not tied to anything. That's purely my story. So because the cup is prolonging the life, it just throws something whack, and he becomes just evil. And just like the longer the world is in this time and state of being in this state of living off of the cup of life, it's making, like, the longer that is going, the more and more evil Garruk gets. Meow. Mitten came. So meow. Meow. Come here. Come, Mitten. Come here. Alrighty. So basically there's that third evil force. There's the wizards, Garruk himself, and the pirates. There's like those three evils in the world. The three different places. Evils. Mitten! Everyone's saying hi. You gotta show your face. Hello. She's like, no, put me down. Put me down. What have you been doing lately, Mitten? Ever since you got scared from me not letting you chew the cords. I didn't like kick or anything. I just was like, just took the cord away from her. She's like, oh, and then left. Or did you get scared when the camera fell? I think that's what mainly happened, is when the camera fell off. Is it time for Mitten? Mitten time? Mitten. Yeah, let's change the camera around and do some Mitten time. Yeah, exactly. That's your favorite time of day. Mitten time. Did you get some good face shots? Yeah, come on. Kitty, kitty. Making the mic sound bad. Good Mitten time. That was fun. Is Mitten a vegetarian? No, not really. She gets the cat food, and cats just aren't vegetarians. Like, that's the part of their food chain. I'm sure there's cool, good vegetarian food out there, but it'd be expensive. But they just have classic nibs that they get to eat. Just classic cat nibs. Nothing special. But she likes yogurt, which is not vegan, but it is vegetarian. Okay, and then here's some inspiration for Nape. So Nape's inspiration is Mitten. So I was like, I gotta have a good animal sidekick. So kind of the funny thing is I made Nape into a dog. So Jade's friend that he has after Anna's gone and Emerald's gone, he still has Nape. So Mitten was the inspiration for that. No, you can't sleep on the keyboard though. I know you like that. Meow. Gotta go up. Back to where we were. You just can't sleep on the computer. You put one paw on the computer, like, okay, I claim this now. Nope. Stay right here. So that works. Okay, that works. You can stay right there. Okay, now we can get back to the caravan that Jade stumbles upon. And this caravan of just bad guys, they're more on like the end of pirates. They're not wizards, but they're like just thieves, just not good people. And they have a captive. They have someone that is captive in one of those carriage captive jail cell things. And this is, so they have someone captured, and Jade's like, he realizes that they're bad guys, so the person that they have captured must be someone who's actually good and for the force, some force of good. So Jade's like, starts kind of keeping an eye on them, walking for a little, and then he's trying to debate if he should try to take on this little caravan or not, just himself. Because he's like, okay, I know I'm have like guardian powers, and I'm somewhat can do something, but he's like, I don't know, I'm not that experienced. But he does end up figuring out a small way that he's able to ambush the bad guy caravan, and he frees the person that was captured. And the person that was captured is named Devin. So Devin, and he helps within fighting off the caravan as well. And so they end up fighting, get all off, and it's all good. So where is this? I lost the piece. Oh well, should be good. We'll find it someday. And they do their introductions. Jade says, like, I'm Jade, and then Devin says, I'm Devin. And then Jade's like, wait, are you the Devin? So within the land of Creed, there is the Devin. Devin, who is he's the good wizard. There's only one good wizard in the world. And he just kind of goes about just doing small acts of kindness, kind of shows up when people need him, and then disappears. He's like almost like those angels people talk about. They're like, I don't know where it came from. Someone came, helped me out, and then just disappeared. Is Devin of many colors? He doesn't have a set color. He's just, he looks more like a peasant, just, I don't know, raggedy clothes. Normal, you wouldn't, when you see him, you don't know he's Devin. But, like, once you get to know him just a little, you're like, oh, he is Devin. Or if he tells you he is. But the one thing with Devin, so I guess I can get into... So yeah, this is when that happens, is Devin and him, he's like, I'm going this way, and Devin says, I'm going that way too. So they start walking, going the same direction together, and they're walking and talking, and then Devin tells his backstory. So Devin is... He tells his story about how he grew up knowing... He grew up in a pretty prestigious place in the kingdom of men. And he grew up in the age of men. Being a pretty prestigious, like he was not like the son's king, or the son of the king, but like kind of along those lines where it was pretty good. And so because of that, he ended up getting to know Devin. No, Devin ended up getting to know Garruk. And he loved Garruk because Garruk was probably like the best guy in the world. But then once he started learning and hearing that Garruk has kind of turned evil, he's like, he got a little curious of like, why is that? Jade trusts random man claiming he's Devin. Yes, basically. But Jade has nothing to lose even if this guy Devin that says he's Devin just joins him, because Jade can take on basically anyone in the world just one-handed. The only person is he couldn't take Garruk on, at least at this time. He wouldn't be able to. Like if Garruk just showed up, Garruk's too powerful that Garruk would be able to defeat Jade. But so Jade feels confident enough with like just going along with Devin. What evil things does Garruk do? The biggest thing, the main evil thing, is he's building up an army to destroy the world, just to take over the world. Like, basically, there's something within him that wants to destroy the world because he's technically not supposed to be in the world. Because the world's supposed to not be destroyed, it's supposed to have ended. He's like, I must fulfill the destiny. I must destroy the world. Like, it's just some thing within inside him. So it's like, but he almost can't do anything about it. It's just become the altar. So, because he's tied to so much to the world and the land itself. So, because the land is kind of growing evil in a way, because it's just the way it's not supposed to be, that it's affecting him. So yeah, kind of like Sauron. Exactly, but also it's different. Each has its own ways, but yes, like it. So Devin tells a story about how when he was young, he was like a good person in general, but he started just kind of not wanting to, I don't know if like the best, just goofing off, or just he wasn't bad, but he wasn't perfect. Like he wasn't doing things perfectly. So he ended up like just wanting to leave his house. He's like, I want to try exploring something different. And he goes and seeks out, he ends up going to the pirates, and he becomes kind of acquainted with the pirates, but he's like not totally within that. He doesn't totally fit in. But then there's the evil overlord, evil overlord of wizards. So the evil wizard lord ends up, and he always goes to the pirates just looking for new recruits, basically, to join the wizards. And he sees Devin, and he's like, "Hey, Devin, I'm gonna let you." He recruits the evil wizard lord. So his name, the evil wizard, wizard overlord is named Lord Va. Lord Va recruits Devin, and Devin goes and starts becoming a wizard and follows the wizard path. And you get to kind of learn what why do they recruit him. So Devin, he's a very clever person and very smart. So he can kind of see that, because Devin being a brand new in Lord Voldemort, I guess so. Just putting it out there. I thought of the Lord Va. I made a little story when I was like 8 years old, and Lord Va was the villain. So I wrote Lord Va before I even read Harry Potter, or knew about it. So just saying, it came first. Mine came first, even though technically Voldemort was created first. But good connection. So Lord Va recruits Devin because he can see that he's smart. Like, Devin was not like climbing the ranks of pirates, but he could deal with any of the pirates that were that he came across. So like, he wasn't just like some scared little boy. He was pretty confident, but he was like, I just don't fit in this place. So then when Lord Va came and could see his smarts, recruits him, and Devin's like, I'm just in my exploratory phase. Sure, I'll go explore to see what it's like with the wizards. So he joins Lord Va. Why do the wizards recruit ever? Then they have to share power. That is true. They need minions. Exactly. So Devin's just kind of starts following the normal paths of wizardship, just learning all the spells and all that. But after some time, Devin he's just becoming like very smart and becoming like one of the best wizards that the minions are cute. They are cute. But Devin's not one of the cute minions, I wouldn't say. So Devin becomes, excuse me. He basically becomes second in command. So like, after years of being with the wizards. So like, he was just naturally very good at it. So he liked that, just the learning. He liked the knowledge and learning about it. But then after some time, how did he get promoted? So Lord Va just liked him so much and was like, I can see you excelling, and wants to train him more and just how powerful he is. So Lord Va kind of is like, you can be my second in command, and takes him in as being second in command. So wait, man, put that out. I was trying to eat a Lego. It's not your food. So the other wizards are scared of Va. They are, but they're also like, it's yeah, it's kind of like anyone that follows an evil lord. It's like the same along the lines where you like the power that you receive for following him, following the evil, but you're also kind of scared of the evil overlord, whoever evil. Like, you just see that in history everywhere, in stories, how the people that follow the bad guy are scared but also want his power in a way. So it's along those same lines. But then the one time Lord Va and Devin are going out to to do... I don't know what it was exactly. I have it written somewhere. They were going to go do something evil. And Devin, once he gets there and sees how the magic is just used for evil, he's like, you know, because as you can probably see a little bit, Devin can sometimes be a little wish-washy about what's going on. He's smart, but then sometimes a little indecisive. So he's like, you know, doing this wizard stuff was kind of fun, but I kind of don't want to do it anymore. Because he was seeing the sort of evil stuff. And he's like, okay, I'm not that evil at heart. So he ends up abandoning. The wizards are like mafia as a society, not as a society. And not... Yeah, they are like the mafia. That's a good way to put it. So he ends up escaping. Lord Va, he doesn't tell Lord Va that he's going to done being a wizard, but then Lord Va kind of senses it. They kind of have a little duel, and Lord Va gets mad when Devin leaves. Yes, he does. So then he kind of starts seeking after him, but because because Devin knows all the tricks of a wizard, he knows how to avoid the tricks of a wizard. But then Devin also sees that magic is in this world is only used for bad. Like, he tries to use it for good in other places, but he sees it always turns out bad. It's like that magic cannot be used for good. So he's like, okay, I want to be good. I want to kind of make up for the evil stuff I've been doing. So that's why Devin becomes, because he's still kind of titled a wizard, because he became a wizard, and you don't understand that. Non-wizards don't understand that about like leaving wizardship, and if you leave it, like you can't use magic. So Devin uses his smarts, and where people sometimes think it's magic, but it's not. Because magic just can't be used for good. So that's kind of Devin's story. Is he's just like, okay, I'm just gotta make up for what I've been doing bad, and starts trying to travel the world, do as much good as he can. And so he's doing that, and then his newest quest and journey was to go find Garruk, and his plan is to bring him to his senses and be like, Garruk, you're not evil, so why are you being evil? Try to help him out. Lost a piece. So that's where Devin was. Did we change the main character? So no. So now that was just like the backstory of understanding who Devin is. So currently we're following Jade and Devin. So those are the main characters. I know I talked a lot about Emerald and Creme there, and I've talked a lot about other characters, but they are not the main characters right now. So right now there's two main characters, Devin and Jade. All the other characters that I was talking about before were basically to introduce Jade, so you could understand who he was. For decoration. Not exactly, but it makes sense, and it will make sense once it's written. So that's where the hard part about doing the storytelling like right now is it's like an incomplete story, so it's like some parts make sense more than others, and so these are just the brainstorming process. Yeah, it's all good. So Devin tells Jade that his goal is to go to try to find Garruk. He's just on the search looking for Garruk. And his next stop is going to be a small village called Blunt Creek. So Jade's like, well, my compass, my necklace, is leading me the same way. So I'm going to join you on your journey to Blunt Creek. So they start just walking to Blunt Creek, and within this whole, them walking, that's when you get to hear the story of Devin, what happens to Devin. So I just finished another piece of this. Is Garruk Cardian Space? I don't know. It might, but not currently set like that, so let's attach. Whoops. Wrong button. Let's attach this. Clicky in. Ooh, there's the middle. So let's get it kind of lined up so you can kind of see. You can see it mostly coming together. Okay, I just got to pin it in now, the last part, and then we can see the full thing. Deep Space Nine. Yes. Alrighty. Time for the clicking. I don't know how we'll do this. Well, it's a lot to line up. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Eat. Oh, all a piece. Takes 6 of those so far. Wow. This is crazy. It's crazy cool. Like, these are nice, just solid artwork. Filling in the dots. And you can, like, actually see it coming together. It makes sense. Only 3 more to go. We could grind out the next 3 right now, but I also am a little tired. How many more? It feels like we have more than 3, but no, we don't. If nothing else, I should at least, I'm not going to take a snack break or something. Get some water. You need to go to sleep soon, I'm afraid. Well, I'm about to end the stream, so the thing is, you're not missing out on anything. And I can tell you, the next, I might stream Monday, but most likely, definitely Tuesday, unless anything crazy happens. But yeah, we're gonna end it here. It's been a nice stream. Well, thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the storytelling. I'll go back and watch myself and see if I liked it. If it was good. So yeah, it's been fun. Is this a cliffhanger book? The whole book, it wraps itself up. But it puts itself where it could be continued, but it would be okay if it wasn't continued. If that makes sense. So, it's a complete story. But, as you can maybe tell, just to get across an understanding of what I've already told you all about today, for it to make sense in a cohesive way, it will be crazy. So it's going to be a bit of a big book as far as I can see it so far. But it was fun. At least it's a story that I've been enjoying working on. But anyways, next day we'll stream Monday or Tuesday evening. We'll see. So, thank you all for joining me today in building this awesome work of art. We'll see ya. Bye.